Hang on. This will make the watch back entertaining while I quickly share this. Right. You join us again, possibly, for Newcastle Brown, who were quick to line up. The women's team here, quick to line up. Glasgow a bit slow on there, so there was a 10 call before the first pull. They immediately start with a scuba to the middle space, looking for that ISO. They've got quite a tall player, I see there, with the in number 72. But she doesn't manage to bring that one down. So we're going to have Sam Bruce picking up. Also on the pitch, we've got Rachel, Paige, Sophie, who's making a line cut now. And back in the end zone over there is Denise, with a reset, a high release reset there. Oh, unfortunately, I think her foot was touching the tape at the time, and that is the call on the field. Really, really unlucky there for Rachel not to be able to complete to Denise. But some threatening play straight away from the Brown. Going back, it looks like they really want to run that ISO play. That's what they've done both times so far. Now, I think, it's a shame, Denise wasn't aware of that disc coming over her head. But she was aware of that one, though, and managed to get out of hand to get the D. Now, there is a foul called. I mean, as seen from this commentator's perspective, it was a long time after she clearly got the D. But obviously that doesn't necessarily mean it's not a foul, so we'll see what happens in the discussion. So Denise there was in the midfield. There was a hammer went up. She was unaware on the field. That call's been retracted, so it will be a turnover. Rachel walking to pick up. Brown look like they're running a 1-4 vert stack, headed by Sam Bruce. We've got the first cut from Sophie Gilmore at the back. It's a high disc to Denise in the middle, but thanks to an interception, apart from a slim chance to catch it with her teeth, Denise was not able to bring it down. Unfortunately, there's been an injury call. Hopefully nothing serious, but number 72 has had to come off the pitch, so there's a delay here while she's replaced by number 40 for Glasgow. The game is live, and they want to pick up the disc. Sophie marking. Paige on the dump. They've left one person free in order to clamp in the end zone. And hopefully frustrate them with some, allowing them to move it around at the back. You don't mind allowing them to move it around at the back if you're able to get turnovers from it anyway, so the Brown will be happy with that. Denise moving to pick it up, giving a forward a wipe from where the disc hit it a moment ago, I think. But she slightly wobbly swing, but no doubt on the steady hands of Sam Bruce, who puts it high. Looking, I think, for Denise. It could have been for Paige. Oh, but she gets it back anyway. Her shot was intercepted, but Sam Bruce is able to pick it up there and do the same again. Straight away, look up the line. She's got eyes for goal, and straight, twice in a row, puts it up the line for that. And we're back with the Brown looking to pull, lining up with April, Sam Bruce, OT, who's going to take the pull, and Paige and Megan. Quite slow here. They were slow on the start as well, Glasgow. But Brown don't need to call 10 if, it's not necessarily a rush for them. Glasgow receive, put it straight up the line. They managed to squeeze the next line shot past Paige's outstretched fingers. Brown obviously running a zone here. With Meg on the chase there. She's a force to be reckoned with. And she goes straight back over there, making it difficult. Oh, Paige's pressure there, I think, can definitely claim credit for that D. Really tight window to get through. Paige's outstretched fingers, not sure whether there was a touch, but either way, there's a turnover. Paige is going to pick up. Brown again, setting up with a 1-4 vert stack. And Meg, the first cut coming from the front there, onto the break side. Little reset there from April, back to Paige. Unfortunate there with the drop. It was nice timing on the cut, a little bit of fluidity starting from the Brown. If they can get hands on those, then I think they'll have more fluidity and continuity in their play. Number 72 there, I think, just with an unfortunate error, didn't quite release it right, and there's a turnover to the Brown pretty much in the centre of the pitch. Paige picks up, straight to OT. Wasn't quite in front of her, and I think OT will be disappointed not to catch it, but nonetheless there's a turnover there. So quite a few turnovers so far this game. Open side up the line there. OT putting great pressure on, but unfortunately they've managed to bring it down for a goal. I thought Oti there was going to be able to get a D out of that one. She had great pressure, but the Glasgow player's been able to bring it down. It does look a bit dry, doesn't it? But brown sauce will help you out. Sorry, just commenting on Josh's sandwich. I should bring the viewers in. What do we think? How much did you pay for this?
I have no idea.
He has no idea. So his sugar, someone has paid him for a dry-looking sandwich, but brown sauce may get him out. Yes. Right, so about to receive the pull, which again, very, very slow. Zoe needs sauce, I agree. There is brown sauce going on. Very, very slow start from Glasgow. And they're pulling to a line of Meg Pickles, Oti, Denise, Sophie, and Rachel. Apologies if I do make mistakes on that stuff. I don't have my glasses on, so, you know. Megan looking for options up the field. Now, you can see there's no one else in shot here. I can't stand far enough back. There's quite a big gap. The Brown running basically a 1-4 they have done all game. But it does create the space when you do it for stuff like that, and Meg to gain some yards. Straight through. Great hand, Denise. They probably need to reset here, but there are some threats in the end zone as well. So they have a reset to Denise, and who puts it high for the towering fingers there of Oti down. And that brings the score to 2-1. 2-1 to the Brown. So we are quite early on. We were a little bit delayed getting on the field, or Glasgow, to be truthful, we're delayed getting on the field. And then we've had that one not so much, but some scrappy slow points, especially the last one, lots and lots of turnovers. So it's only 2-1, we're 7 minutes in. And to start this point, we're going to have Sam Bruce pulling, lining up with Denise, Sophie, April, and Paige. You'll have to forgive my coughing and spluttering. I do have a bit of a cough. So good pressure in the midfield. Brown don't mind that too much. Going out for a little swing, no yards gained with this zone. And Paige with towering there, putting in a great D. I hope that was caught in time. Really getting up high to stop that, making its mark. So the Brown continuing to run this zone, and then this quite deep, I don't know if that's intentional, 1-4 offense setup. It does leave a lot of space for those unders, so in that sense it's been working well. And Sophie looks straight up the line. It's a beautiful disc. It's such a good disc and a great goal. The precision on that disc from Sophie, the timing, and the takedown from Sam Bruce, that was a fantastic goal. Brilliant goal. Nice. And that brings the score to 3-1.
This is nice hockey.
Thank you. Yeah, Sophie's disc there. I mean, it was probably 2/3 pitch length and hit that back cone, just 1 meter diagonally inside the back cone. Perfect. With a little bit of float past the defender. Really nice. Well timed as well from Sam, and safe hands to bring it down. She's a very dependable receiver, Sam Bruce. And it is Sam Bruce to pull this point, starting alongside Rachel, Paige, Oti, and Meg. Again, Glasgow being the slower ones to start, but I don't think Brown mind as long as we're up. And they start, and they didn't manage to get that first pass out. Well, not for a few counts anyway. But it's a big one gone up. Can Sam Bruce challenge? She hasn't got the position there, so it's always going to be difficult with whipping one. There may be a call there. From this commentator's position, I don't think that was a foul. I think that's a legit goal. I think she had the position, but obviously I can't see everything on the field. So indeed, it is retracted, and the goal will stand. It's a nice put there. Straight away, they started a bit slow in the back. Did Glasgow receiving it in there and not giving that first throw out? But I think the Brown may be a bit off put by that. They were expecting the first throw to go, left a bit of space then for the next throw, and then that long put, which mirrored Sophie's from a moment ago quite well. It was a good disc, really well caught by the receiver, who managed essentially to. She had position to start with on Sam Bruce, but she kept that position well. She boxed her out, and I don't think Bruce ever had she had a lot to do to get that D from behind. So Glasgow to pull to a Brown line of Sophie, Denise, Rachel, Oti, and April. It's a short pull, but it's not caught, so it does roll. Again, we've got this quite a big gap in the under that it must be intentional. They're doing it every time. It's 1-4 offense that the Brown are setting up in. They stack quite deep, leave a lot of underspace. Great hands there from Rachel, receiving a disc from Oti. April out there with a lovely little break throw to Oti, gaining yards. She gets it back. She looks up. Oh, Sophie had got free, but it was timing-wise just as Denise looked away. But Denise has managed to catch it. She's not in, but she's not in. She was right in the front of the end zone, receiving the little throw back from Oti, Denise. So she looked up to throw. She threw a quick one to Sophie, who had been free a moment before. But this time, eagle-eyed defence from Glasgow managed to intercept and knock it out. Starting at the corner of their end zone, putting a big loopy scuba over. That we don't mind too much. It looked like the Brown are either... looked like the Brown were in a match there, and Denise was marking the ISO, but not too much defence needed to be done on that. That's a great interception though from Glasgow. They've done that a couple of times, and Brown not managing to convert. That is not a goal. That is not a goal. In commentator's opinion, and the video stream will have a better view, that was not a goal. Indeed, although there were some goal calls on the field, it looks like it's been resolved as not a goal. It's going to start at the front of the end zone. She'll want to reset it. There might be an overhead reset here, or she's going to try and cram it up, which she has tried to cram it, and indeed the cramming works, but there is a foul called. Denise did end up on the ground now. I didn't really see what happened. Any opinion? Any opinion? No, I didn't really see it very well. There's discussion. So the discussion. So Denise here, if you're just joining us, Denise has called a foul in the end zone. Brown are on defence. Number 84, they're back to us through a high and slightly wobbly disc to the player in the cap. But Denise called a foul just before. Looks like that foul, I'm not sure what the conclusion was, but it's not a goal. It's absolutely fantastic defence there. Absolutely brutal. Getting that interception. She's obviously a bit riled up from the last interaction. And really, really nice force work there. Rachel picks up. April is totally free, but she gives it to Sophie. Sophie nearly brings it down. She's quite a threat in the air, but then so is her mark, that number 72 for Glasgow. Anyway, Glasgow back with it. 84 up the line to 72. 72 looking for that short one, and they've managed to put it up the line there to convert that. So we've had a few slightly scrappy points. I think that makes it 3-3. Which I must miscount it. I thought, to be honest, it was 4-2. But apparently it is 3 goals apiece. Had some slightly slower and slightly scrappier points. A couple of calls in the last point, and a few turnovers. But there has been some really nice play on both sides. I think both sides are just struggling to link it into much fluidity. Denise's chase absolutely is fierce. Agree with Sophie in the chat there. It's fantastic. So pull here, slightly unusual sort of forehand technique, but Meg, not intimidated, receives it straight away, immediately puts it to Denise. Denise looks up, she's got an option in Sam Bruce. Sam Bruce up the line, receives straight away. Sam Bruce looks upfield, she's got Meg blasting down the line. She's got Sam Bruce with a lovely little inside throw that I thought was going to be on, but just beyond the outstretched fingertips of Denise Boone. So Denise is going to start on the force, where we know she can be formidable. And she does indeed make it difficult. There was a narrow window. I don't know if that's what she intended to throw. It was an unusual release. But Oti was there to bring it down and give Brown possession right near the front of the end zone. They only have Sam Bruce in to threaten, which with a good goal, well done. I think we all thought that was not going to go. Paige was slow to look, but Sam Bruce free for a goal. Nice.
Have I done the wrong thing?
Bless her. Sam Bruce with a great cut starts doubting herself when Paige had picked up the disc looking infield instead. to the surprise of this commentator at least, that it was still on when Paige did look round on a count of about 3. So the Browns start on defence with Sophie going to pull. Also on the field we have April, Oti, Paige and Megan. Still waiting for a hand from Glasgow. There we go. And Sophie's pull, not one for her to remember, I don't think. But it's probably going to be bricked. Yes, indeed, it is going to be bricked. And at least allows the Brown to set up. So it looks like the Brown are running, I would say it's a match, but it could be a zone or it could be a match with a poach and on this ISO in the middle. So we'll find out as the game goes on. That little hammer throw there to an undercut from the deep player, obviously with OT split between 2, was on, but nonetheless it was dropped, and turnover. Brown start with the disc. Thought Meg might receive it there, but she did not. Instead, Paige favours a longer throw to OT, which has not come off. What's the verdict on the sandwich? Was it as dry as it looked?
It was very good. I don't mind dry meat. So
you don't mind dry meat?
Or sandwiches.
That's good. Good. I marked this as not safe for kids, so we're fine. So, turning back from Josh Clark's dry meat, we see Glasgow receiving it from an overhead in their third of the pitch, but now attacking right into the centre. Now they enter the Browns' third straight away. There is a big gulf here. There are no Brown players in shot as they go into essentially a wall, but the wall has to adapt to that threat at the front of the end zone. Meg dropping off to deal with the threat behind, and always difficult to quickly react to those front of end zone threats. This creep is also here.
Hello. I am a creep. This is true.
So the score 4-4. Turning into quite a tight game. I think the Brown came out looking stronger, but both sides have been quite strong in the air, and there have been some good plays, some contested plays. But here we are, starting the 9th point, 4-4. And drop pull, doesn't matter in indoors. Sam Bruce receives and hammers. This is a classic 2-on-2 ISO by the look of it. Not what Brown have been favouring until now. Paige received from the ISO position, threw straight across diagonally to Denise, but it was intercepted. There have been some good interceptions from Glasgow here. I think the Brown maybe need to be a little bit more aggressive on attacking those discs, because they've got to expect that there will be opponent hands reaching for all grabs. Anyway, they get to the front of the end zone, they're right in the corner, and they're going to reset it here. Glasgow looking to put away their 5th point. Swinging it back and forth, and the Brown, not certain what they are running here. It might be a wall of sorts, but whatever it is, Glasgow have found a way through it and put away to make the score 5-4 to Glasgow. Ignore that, it's 5-4. So the Brown lined up. This has been a game we'd have very slow, gaps between points, and some slow points as well. But anyway, there's a hand from the Brown finally to be ready. So on this occasion, both teams a bit slow. And we start with Rachel receiving the pull at the front of the end zone. Brown going back to a 1-4, having experimented with an ISO at the end of last, but unfortunately there, just a asymmetric catch means that Paige turns over on that far side. So number 72 is going to pick up for Glasgow on the touchline, puts it straight under, down the line, resets to 72 right in the middle of the field. She's a threat, but for now she's just going to reset the timer. Meg on chase and Brown in a wall. They've used the wall a couple of times and they've conceded a couple of times. Not necessarily the fault of the wall, but both teams were unlucky there. I thought the defense was April's, but her hand just missed it. But fortunately for the Brown, the Glasgow player also did not manage to convert. So the Brown starting again with this quite a deep 1-4, leaves that space under, and Rachel picking up on our front end zone. Okay, well done. Chilly hands there from April, picks it up. and Paige ignoring calls of chill, putting it to Oti, and Oti, fantastic stretch jump out the back of the end zone, going for that, and so aware of the line. Really good play, but unfortunately Paige's throw was just too long. Oti going to put those limbs to good use now on the force. It goes straight over and it's received in the middle in that ISO position, straight back to the original handler, and great Oti making it hard for her to do what she wants there. Oh, I thought Paige was getting a beautiful D there, just again by millimeters evades her. They have it again at the front of the end zone, and they have managed to convert again, making it Newcastle Brown 4, Glasgow 6. Enthusiasm from these three players getting straight on the line. So we've got Sophie, Sam Bruce and Denise all getting straight on, and Oti also running on to join. And then, yeah, we had a couple of players won it there, which is great to see, but April is the one to make 5 for the Brown. And the pull going up from Glasgow. It's quite a high and plunging pull to the front of the end zone. Denise, I think, rightly opts to catch and play on. Oh, it's an unfortunate drop there from Sam Bruce, and not what we expect. She's had such safe hands today and generally, but nonetheless there's a turnover, and Glasgow have it in our third. Looking for that high disc to this side, and it's not in, but they are managing to creep up and sit on the front end zone line there, so there are threatening options. I think the Brown, who are running something like a sort of 2-3 wall right now, I would say, are struggling to really shut down what has been at times quite a patient offense near the end zone from Glasgow. And the swing across here gives them an attacking position to get that little pop pass in, jumping into the front of the end zone. It's been a difficult one. I think some frustration might start to creep in. They would say had the upper hand in general play, but after some scrappy points, now the last few points have swung over in Glasgow's favour.
Let's go, Bob!
There's a strong sideline here with reps from the Brown men's, both teams.
We are men.
At that point, having my rather sad lunch. Rate my lunch in the chat. I mean, we all know it's not great. Dry peanut butter sandwich. A banana I intended to put in it. It's not there. The Brown still very slow to start point starts from both sides, but the Brown not calling 10 yet. They could have done before the game started, and for most points since, to be honest. But now they're down, you know, want the game to speed up just a little bit, I would say. That Megan doing fantastically well there to pick up, and unfortunate not to be able to convert. I think from the first throw, Sam Bruce was on and open. There was a little bit of hesitancy there. It was maybe a break throw, and she was, fairly static, even though she had the space. So instead, a deeper throw to the ISO was opted for, which Meg went and cleared up, but unfortunately sailed through the fingers of the end zone receiver. So it's a turnover. Glasgow putting it up the line, and I think attacking the Glasgow player just slightly mistimed a jump there. It looked like it was going to be a goal, but the Brown let off and get possession back. It is 7-4 to Glasgow. It's a similar looking disc from last time, but last time a bit of luck helped it come off. This time not so much. Yeah, and another goal for Glasgow there. Possibly a little bit of intensity, a little bit of pace dropped out of Brown's game. And that's partly been due to, I think frustration. They've had a few turnovers, a little bit of uncertainty, lack of confidence on the offense, maybe. But generally, they've turned a very strong start into a slightly less strong middle. Nonetheless, they do have about 5 minutes left on the timer to do something with this game. It's 8-4 to Glasgow, having been 4-all. The Brown getting a hand up. Glasgow finally actually beating the Brown to having a hand up. So far, they've been dragging the game a little bit with slow point starts. Not loving their options there, but managing to reset to April. Denise back again, surely up the line again to April. It's good. Yep, so now we've gained some distance. Looking upfield, Sam Bruce making a powerful cut up the line, but a brilliant interception there at full stretch from the Glasgow player. That number 72 has been very strong, offense and defense. And even Sam Bruce's cut was not quite what was needed. I think actually it was a slightly slower throw than perhaps would have done the job. Nonetheless, not sure if there was a touch there from Oti or whether that wasn't forced, but the Brown get the disc back.
Let's go, Brown!
Denise is going to pick up. She's got Oti in the end zone. Brown forming loosely across in front of her. Now Page moves into the dump position, but it's a misjudged dump pass. And there's an option deep with Denise looking to get it off her. She hasn't managed to do that, but it's not a goal yet. Now it is. Makes the score. Newcastle Brown women 4, Glasgow Ultimate 9. I get to listen to the mouthful commentary for another half point. I try and chew through this dry sandwich. Not sure if there's a timeout or if this is just another very slow into point from both teams. You can time it from the video, but it was certainly more than 30 or 40 seconds. And finally we have hands and we get underway. High pull. Was borderline whether it was going to make it, but Bruce decides to catch, rightly I think, and put straight away with a scuba to Meg from Rachel. Really, really nice. That ISO play that we've struggled to put together has really worked there. And Meg gets it back up the line from Sophie. A great connection, meaning the Brown have their first point in the last 6, making it 5-9. And Glasgow leading. On this line now, having repaired the touchline, Sophie is joined by Denise, Meg, who's going to pull, April, and Oti. Hand is up from the Brown. Again, very slow getting the play go. I don't think Brown can be entirely annoyed about it. They haven't been very quick either, and they haven't called 10 at any point, but Glasgow have been especially slow in getting the game started. Nonetheless, the pull is not caught, which means they start right at the back of the end zone. A good undercut offering means that they've managed to get it out of there, but they're still well in their own zone. A little high release there for the ISO, and then a high put that's going to be difficult to bring in. Indeed, it's well out the back. Sophie with a gesture there that I'm not certain what it was supposed to convey, but it entertained me, whatever it was. And Denise picking up at the front of the end zone. The Brown in a very loose vert stack here, as this is the last possession. The Hooters just gone, so unfortunately this game is going to finish with Glasgow winning. And the possession ends there, I'm afraid, with a missed connection at the back. Well, I think that's an unfortunate result. Finishing Newcastle Brown women 5, Glasgow 9. The Browns started looking stronger, and they had some really, really nice play at times. Glasgow were able to use their ISOs effectively. They had some really good players in the middle, and I think the mimed words from Sophie there probably sum up how the team are feeling at the end of that game. Right, I'm not sure what the next game is, but it will be streamed if I can manage it. If I'm in it, I'll try and get someone else to do it. So thank you for joining and I'll post the link of the next stream in the chat. Oh.